West. Oh, the voices come together, a podcast so fine, telling tales of yesterday, crossing every line, with a jazzy kind of rhythm and a spark in their quest. It's the best in the West, we must confess. Late nights cramming or dreaming so tall, echoing footsteps down the old school hall. Friendships carved in stone stand the test of time, like the beat of a heart in sync and rhyme. Oh, the voices come together, a podcast so fine, telling tales of yesterday, crossing every line, with a jazzy kind of rhythm and a spark in their quest. It's the best in the West, we must confess. Time moves along, but the stories stay bright. Threads of laughter weave the day and night. Normandy's echoes beat strong in our chest. Forever we're tied to the best in the West. Oh, the voices come together, a podcast so fine, telling tales of yesterday, crossing every line, with a jazzy kind of rhythm and a spark in their quest. It's the best in the West, we must confess. We must confess. Normandy's echoes beat strong in our chest. Forever we're tied to the best in the West.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mr. Riley coming to you live from the West Coast, the best coast, the West Side. Man, your boy's back in the house. Let me see if I can trigger this little air horn. Yeah, your boy's back in the house. Vacation with my wife last week, and we had a wonderful time. So I'm a little scatterbrained right now. I got some stories I could tell y'all, but we're just so happy here to be back in this seat right here producing the NCS Best in the West podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Riley, and we have a wonderful, wonderful guest tonight. And I told him before we got started, it's like, look, this is going to be a quick podcast because I did not bring all the stuff that I normally would bring because I left everything on my bed when I was unpacking. So we're going to get through this thing. And he was like, hey, it's all good. I'm here for it. Whatever you need, I got it. All right. So we're going to go ahead. The person is Mr. Dominique Lee. And I know his dad. I know his mom. Wonderful young man. And he's from the class of 2004. Now, I was long gone. I'm 1980. I'm up out of there. So he's one of our recent guys, alumni of NCS. So without further ado, because you don't want to hear me just talk, we want to hear about Mr. Dominique's experience at NCS. So let's go ahead and bring him in. You guys say hello to Mr. Dominique Lee.
Man, 2004 was recent.
Well, it wasn't recent, but it was.
Man.
It was recenter. It was more recent than 1980.
For sure.
What's
How
going
y'all
on,
doing?
sir? How you feeling, man?
I'm doing well, feeling well. I'm feeling blessed.
Good. Thank you for being here, man.
Yeah, man, happy to be here.
I know you had a busy day. My boy El Presidente, he was over there wondering, I think he worn out a path between the seats over there and the window. He's like, man, where's the dude? I was like, man, just
I know, man. My bad.
no, you good.
Long day at work. You know what I mean. Then I gotta prep for you guys. I don't want to just come in with the day on me. So
No, it's all good. It's all good. Okay, so I just want to technically make sure you can hear me, correct?
yes, sir.
Okay, for whatever reason. Oh, I know why. I know why I can't hear myself. Okay.
Turn it up.
No, you're good. Just as long as you can hear. But more importantly, can the people out there, if you're watching, I think Erwin is watching. I think I saw him drop a comment, Mr. Woodard. And I know El Presidente is there. And I'm sure you invited some family and friends over to the podcast as well. So let's.
Yeah, just sent it out.
Absolutely. So look, let's go ahead and tell us about yourself, because you're a younger man. You got a little full beard.
My name is Dominique. I am an artist, producer, writer. I go by the name of Andre Hando as a stage name. I've been doing music since around the time right when I got out of NCS. So when I left 6th grade, then I decided around that time, like, I wanted to get into the music industry, or the practice of making the art of music.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was my general background. Like, I was always into, the choir, obviously. Y'all have seen me around singing, and I was just always inspired by that. So that was the really substantial part of my upbringing that, gave me my confidence in everything. Like, we always sang in NCS, and that was really honed in for me during that time. So, obviously, I'm a young man coming up in NCS. You starting off in kindergarten, you 5 years old, 6 years old, you're just learning ABCs with Miss Davis and stuff like that. And then, it starts to get more complex, where you go to Miss Parker and she's inciting like the book logs and everything, and really driving in a sense of, learning, you know what I mean? Like real learning, and like studying for yourself, and like learning how to comprehend things and relay them back to people and explain your ideas. So, that was always instilled in us from an early onset at NCS, and I can go on if, like, 3rd grade, Mr. Triggs, 4th grade, Miss Rhodes.
Okay, Dominique, you're going too fast,
man.
Hold on.
I mean, these are the reason why I'm going so fast, man. Besides the battery thing, is these are things that are always revolving in my head. You know what I mean? Anybody
Absolutely.
watching, if you've been to NCS, if you've encountered anybody at NCS, these are things that we have never ever separated from. So
Yeah.
they're always with you. And anytime I interact with somebody on the street, on the job, in the studio, they can see it in me. You know what I mean? Like, it is a light that was given to us, through this institution. So, I get excited about that. You know what I mean? So I can go a mile a minute, but
Got you.
wherever y'all want to go, man.
No, I got
ask
you.
me.
I'm gonna lead you down the path of righteousness.
Let's get it.
But first, I see that Erwin says that he can hear us, but no video. Now, Darren, can you verify that, El Presidente? I don't know which platform you're on right now. We're on 2 platforms.
I'm on Facebook. I've got video. I can see you both.
Okay, video. Okay, cool. All right. So hopefully, Erwin, that was just some kind of introductory situation, but hopefully you should be able to hear us nice. And I like to say, hear us and making sure that our voices are nice and crispy. But let's go ahead into the first question, man, because you kind of hit the nail right on the head. So my first question for you, let's start at the beginning. What do you remember about your time at Normandy Christian School? And then was there a moment or memory that still sticks with you today? And of course, you just rattled off a whole bunch of teachers. Some of them I do know, and some of them I don't. But, what is, some of your favorite memories about NCS? Now, here's also another question. Did you begin with kinder and go all the way through 6th grade?
Yes, sir. Yes, I did.
Okay.
I mean, early memories, my Aunt Eunice bringing me to school every day. You know what I mean? That was like, I don't know, the early feelings of just like love and support, man. I mean, that is like the most substantial thing that I can think of, you know what I mean? And then obviously like the camaraderie, like all these people that I met, that I'm still friends with, that,
Sure.
we grew together, man. Like, you know, I mentioned Miss Parker's class, like learning to read. Like, I love to read. You know what I mean? I don't practice as much as I used to when I was younger, but I really gained like a love for reading. And there's a lot of information that you gather just from reading material. You know what I mean? So just the knowledge of like where these types of things come from. You know what I mean? Like, I can go on forever of like experiences, obviously like the international days, the time spent in the lunchroom, man. Just like you're separated by clouds, but you're not really separated. You can get up, you can interact, you can receive influence from all these, you know, different kids from different, you know, I would say walks of life, but obviously like we're all in a general sense, we're a part of the church, and, you know, we subscribe to, you know, a type of living, you know what I mean? But you're meeting people from different backgrounds and you know, different family structures and things like that. So there's a level of competition, you know what I mean? We do spelling bees and things like that. So like obviously all of that is stuff that I was a part of. So that really sticks out to me. Miss Jackson having us have like pets in the 6th grade. Like we had to, you know, I had like little chameleons, or I can't even remember what I had. They were little lizards, but that was just, that was inspiring, man. I mean, the whole experience, you know what I mean? Like I'm glad I got to go from K through 6th. I didn't even realize 6th grade was a part of junior high until I left and I went to a different junior high per se. So, but yeah, man. I mean, just the lessons taught with the spiritual background, you know what I mean, and like good, solid folks like helping to raise your kids, you know what I mean? Like
absolutely.
I think that's the thing that's lost on the world now, you know what I mean, that is really appreciated from my background. I'm like, man, I had some adults who really poured in and bought into, you know, we are going to be the future of the world. You know what I mean? And the same goes today. Yeah. Even though a lot of them don't want to take the responsibility of it, and we don't want to give over the reins to the people who are supposed to be stepping into it, but it is what it is. The young people are going to be in charge of how operations go in the future. You know
Absolutely.
What I mean? So I think the people who were in charge there, they really took that to heart, and they made that a really good experience for a bulk of us, I believe. You know what I mean? Like I haven't seen too many bad stories about NCS, and you know, even if they did have any, I have a million good stories that are refuted. So.
Yeah, you have something that's going to balance out the situation for you guys, or you know, just your experience. You know, so that's a good thing. So you mentioned, you know, earlier some of your favorite, you know, some of your favorite teachers, and you know, some of the things that you kind of liked as being a student at NCS. You mentioned, you know, I like that you mentioned your Aunt Eunice taking you to school, and then, you know, matriculating all the way through from kinder through sixth grade. You know, it's not too many OGs, you know. I can speak, you know, I'm one of the original 53.
Ooh, talk about it. Got the pen and everything.
Yeah. So, you know, I mean, it's important that, you know, you develop that foundation. And so, you know, from kinder to 6th grade, you know, that foundation was built. And so, you know, like I said, some of the teachers were still, there's a few teachers, of course, Miss Rhodes and Miss Parker were still there. They were there when I was there. And so those, you know, veteran folks who just kind of made the foundation of NCS really gave it the experience that was, you know, necessary, a wonderful foundation. And, you know, we just always applaud those adults who are part of the NCS.
Foundation for the school and foundation for our lives.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
For our lives in a real way.
Speaking of which, we're talking about, my next question is, who was your favorite teacher or teachers or adults?
Don't do that, man.
Okay, so you know what? I'll make it easy for you. Your top, okay. I'm not going to say your top 3 or top 5. Just name some folks, because I know there were a vast amount of people who poured in to your life. Name some of the people, besides the folks you mentioned, Miss Parker, Miss Rhodes, you said Miss Davis, your kinder. Who else helped pour into your life as a student when you were at NCS?
Miss Quick, Miss Wilson.
Yeah. And then what made them stand out? Miss Quick and Miss Wilson?
I think that they were not afraid to have adultish conversations in front of you, right? So you can get a sense of real life happenings and be prepared for those things, man. So I mean, as a child, you are constantly seeking for knowledge, for more, for like an understanding, for a different technique on how to do things, right? And the people who are willing to give that knowledge up, the people who don't withhold you from that and treat you like, oh, you wouldn't understand just because you're younger, right? Those people should be celebrated, and those people are the people that I gravitate towards, because I don't think it takes you all day to recognize that the sun is shining. You know, some people can recognize that and be like, all right, well, what do we use the sun for?
Sure.
You know, so I am blanking on the name. Miss Akins. Miss Akins, excuse me, was very integral in that type of thinking.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Now, was she a teacher or was she someone just on and around campus?
She taught first grade, I believe. That was my first grade teacher.
Okay.
And then later on, Mr. Farr wasn't my fifth grade teacher, but I think it was Miss Daniels, I believe.
Okay.
So all these people, man. I mean, I have very vivid memories of all of these, but obviously, like, I bring up Miss Parker a lot just because that love of reading, man, like, that is powerful. You know what I mean? And like, I think that's where me as an artist, that's where my love for poetry, for the way words relate to each other, how you can, especially in the English language, you can say a particular word and it can mean 4 or 5 different things.
Yeah.
So definitely her, definitely Miss Rose, just because Miss Rose was more of like sometimes there needs to be structure, you know what I mean, in the chaos of things. So,
and she provided that structure.
and she also Miss Rose was often viewed by my age group as like the real strict teacher, you know what I'm saying? And you don't do anything negative around Miss Rose, like, you're really going to get the repercussions for that. And there were some repercussions for that. I'm just going to, I'm going to leave that where it's at.
Yeah, we know what you're talking about.
But she also, if y'all remember that table in the back behind her desk, that was a punishment area, but it was also an area to reflect and to still, like, that was a big table. If you were back there by yourself, you can map things out. You can get your work done a little bit more clearly. And in my head, how I remember it, if you were on top of those things, that'll be your assimilation back into the class. You know, you recognizing that that's what that space is for. You're being a disruption to other people. You need to recenter. You need to get back on track. And, you know, you need to have that. You know what I mean? Like, it can't just be all action and no planning. It can't. Like, you're bound to run into a wall, go through, all kind of trouble with that. So those two specifically, I can remember. They were really integral, man. But everybody at NCS, for real, like, y'all had an impact and y'all did great work. And if no one has ever told you that, which, obviously this podcast is here for that, but you are appreciated, you are loved, and you are revered. You know what I mean? Every day we are thinking about those things. So
absolutely,
it is appreciated.
And Miss Parker, I frequently see her. She's leaving comments, and so one day we'll catch her on a live. So that's a good thing. And because the longevity of Miss Parker and Miss Rhodes, it transcends different generations, because they were there when I was there. Now I don't think I had Miss Parker as a teacher, but and I'm even trying to remember if I had Miss Rhodes, but I just know her legacy was like, yeah, she was pretty strict. So, that's a good thing.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Because that's going to help us, relate to, the young people in our lives. Sometimes you have to be strict with, who you need to be strict with.
Yeah.
And then you have to be kind of, a little bit more loving, like Miss Parker, developing the love of reading and all that kind of good stuff. So that's a wonderful thing. NCS legacy. Let's talk about that. So you come from a true NCS legacy. You talked about your Aunt Eunice dropping you off. And then she was an integral part as well because she was, at one time, wasn't she a foster grandmother or something like that? I forgot I think it was a foster grandmother,
She
right?
was. Yep, I believe so.
But your sister, and then you have family ties to Adria, Papa, and Ryan Valentine.
Yep.
What did it feel like growing up in that kind of school family atmosphere with those people that we just mentioned and then also that I just mentioned as well?
Man, it got on my nerves. It got on my nerves because,
Not your sister.
No, not my sister. No, but just the family being so tied in. It's like you can't really be a mischievous kid, and do all the kid things that you want to do because, my dad used to walk into the classroom and this is my direct phone number. If he does anything in the class, you call me right as soon as before class ends. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Right.
So, that was intense, man. But it's cool to see that there are other people coming up the same way as you. You can relate, and you see other families going through it too. You know what I mean? Like I went to school where somebody who's in a grade above me has a brother in a grade, a couple of grades under us, and has somebody who graduated already. So, it's nice to be able to relate in that aspect, and it just shows the significance of the education that you get there.
Absolutely.
Obviously it sticks.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? Did Mac 10 actually go to NCS? Because
So
I heard Mac 10 went to NCS.
so
My classmate.
Come on now.
there you go. You heard it.
Connect game.
You heard it from El Presidente. Yeah, absolutely.
Pictures afterwards.
That's what's up. The girl said she used to pull his ponytail.
And as you were talking about family, so for those of you who are viewing, I'm actually managing, the podcast, and I'm also checking comments on my phone. So because you mentioned family atmosphere, and you talked about siblings in different grades, and we have Lisa DeVore. She had brothers and sisters in different grades at the same time, and so just wanted to shout her out. And she left the comment. She says, Miss Quick had that paddle in her hands at all times. So
Miss Quick never bust her gun though. Miss Quick, I can go on record. Miss Quick never bust her gun. She walked around with it, but she would lend it to somebody for them to use.
Yeah.
I can stamp that.
So Lisa always says that you always kind of watched out for Miss Quick, because she had that wop wop. You know what I mean? So she just
Scare tactics.
So just wanted to shout out, and then because you were talking about siblings in different grades, I wanted just to say thank you for watching, Lisa, being a part of the conversation, and again just connecting because she had, I think it was 5 of them. Darren, you can correct me. There's 5 or 6 of them, and so the 5. So the DeVore family was they were up there, making an impact as well. All right, so let's jump around. What was your favorite activity or event while attending NCS? Something that you look forward to every year, or as you kind of matriculated through the grades, it's like, okay, you couldn't do this as a 3rd grader, but you could probably do this as a 4th or 5th grader. So, one of your favorite, or 2 or 3 of your favorite activities while you were at NCS?
And let me nerd out some more. My the walks to the library.
Okay,
That was really cool where we started doing that. But
oh, that's right, because the library was straight down 64th.
yeah, we used to take a walk to the library. We did that once a week, twice a week, maybe. But the computer lab, obviously, that was cool.
Yeah, we didn't have a computer lab.
I know. We were on the cutting edge of that one. Them big old block monitors, not a flat screen in sight.
Right.
But I mean, those were cool. Like obviously, playing sports was a fun thing. Playing basketball, but
Played on the blacktop.
on the blacktop.
Did you fall and get injured like everybody else?
Of course, man. You rip up your uniforms. You got to purchase new ones.
Yeah.
But that's a part of it, man. You learn to fall down, get back up.
Yeah.
Learn to compete without, being jealous of your neighbor. It teaches you to work hard. But those are some pretty significant things for me. But like I said, man, my days at NCS, that really, because for me, this is a private institution. I went to a private institution after that, but then it was public school for high school. And I just see
The big difference.
the difference, man. Yeah. And just the attention to detail, right? Like knowing that you're supposed to be looking for these certain things, just, I really appreciate everything about my upbringing in this facility. Like that's really what I have to say. Like all of it is significant. You know what I mean? Like all of even like I brought up Miss Rhodes as one of my favorite people. You know what I mean? Like, and she was viewed as one of the stricter people. Like even that, when you get older, when you look back and you reflect, there's something you can take from all of it, man. There's good in everything that goes on, and it's I know that's super cliche, but specifically I want to say that for this particular type of program because it's needed, and even if people don't subscribe to the spirituality of it, you know what I mean, because we are Christian, but an institution where it's just you're honed in on like treating the kids right and raising them and making sure they have the tools to survive when they get out of there. Because even me going to high school, like I feel like I kind of just got a curriculum, but I didn't have anybody that was actually invested in thinking about how I'm gonna do, as opposed to, man, I got 50 other kids coming in on the next period and I'm just trying to ship up and ship out.
Yeah. Absolutely. Lisa, again, she's commenting, again, I'm dropping off, looking at her, some of her comments. And unfortunately, I can't put the comments on the screen. I'm still trying to work that out, but it was working before you got here, man. Dominique.
I took too long, y'all. My bad. I took so long that the chat room got fried. It got too hot in the chat room. They ain't got no AC in the chat room.
But the thing with technology is, if you're watching, you can leave comments. And so she was just like, look, chapel, that was one of her favorite things. And then she said the yearly spaghetti dinners was one of her favorite things.
I don't think we had the spaghetti dinner.
Okay. And then dodgeball was one of her favorite activities.
Dodgeball was cool.
And then she said, because we were talking about the paddle, she said one of the previous teachers, Miss Prescott, kind of put the wop.
Man, I didn't know Miss Prescott. Respect to Miss Prescott. I don't want no smoke if you still carrying that paddle around, Miss Prescott.
Unfortunately, she's no longer with us. Miss Prescott. Oh no, you're good. Miss Prescott was, I think, when she started, I was in the first class that she started with. So okay. She was my sixth grade teacher, I believe. So yeah, she was super nice. But then I heard as she went on and stayed there, had some longevity, she did get kind of strict. So,
stop playing around with these kids, man. Y'all don't run nothing. I'll run the classroom.
Absolutely. But to Miss Prescott's reputation, everyone loved Miss Prescott. Mm-hmm. So you had that balance. Sometimes you had to break out the wop.
But you lead with love.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like
absolutely.
The intention is everything.
Yes.
Some people are just taking that power and abusing that power. They don't even, like I said, they don't even care about your curriculum. They don't care about what your situation at home is, and that's why you're falling asleep in class or whatever the case is, right?
Yeah.
But there are some people who do care, and then those are the people that you take the instruction from. Those are the people you take the. We can't say beatings, can we?
That's why I said
discipline from.
Yeah, discipline. There you go, discipline. Yeah.
Oh man.
All right, so let me switch it up just a little bit. I am gonna come back and talk about your elementary school, your favorite principal.
My man taking me back 20 years. Like, how was your first day at kindergarten? I'm like, I was missing my mom.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because I do have a question that relates to the name Hando. But before we get there, who was your principal when you were at NCS? Do you remember?
Wilson. Yep.
Okay. What kind of presence did they leave or did they have on campus? Were kids were kids like you better not go to her office? Or was she super nice?
Because y'all know I'm getting it triple time. They're gonna call my dad, they're gonna call my mom, and then you going to Miss Wilson, like, come on, man. You done messed up, son. But no, very serious woman, very direct, very firm with her word. You know what I mean? So, and she'll make you feel it. You know what I mean? She get to talking like this. Like I can see it now. Like she get to, and you got the nerve to be in here when your parents sending you up in here. You supposed to be learning something. Yeah, nah, she'll make you feel it, man. But just great direction. You know what I mean? Like everybody in the program respected her, from the students to the staff. And you know, she was a good leader. You know what I mean? Because like I said, like she led with love. She had children in the program. You know, and there was no favoritism. Like I saw them get punished just like we got punished. So you know,
It was equitable.
exactly. And if I'm seeing something that's fair, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no nepotism here just because, you know, you are running the program or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm bought in, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I feel like that paved the way for me to really take it serious, you know what I mean? And get all I could out of it.
Okay. So Miss Teresa was your favorite. We're going to have to, you know, send a notification out to Miss Teresa Wilson.
She know. We talk.
You talk all the time? Okay.
Well,
all
I
right.
wouldn't say all the time, but
Okay, got you. So let's transition over. We're still going to come back, and I have a few more questions related to, you know, your overall experience at Normandy. But your nickname I see is Hando. Can you tell us how that name came about, and why did a name like Hando stick with you?
So I mean, realistically, I was just looking for something to make myself different. Like obviously, the name Andre is done. One of the greatest rappers of all time, Andre 3000. And then Dominique. At the time of me deciding I wanted to make music, there was also a very popular and well-deservingly so rapper by the name of Dom Kennedy. So it's like me, I always wanted to be an individual. I always respected people who sought after individualism and sought to make their art stand apart. So I can't remember what brought the thought about, but I started looking up obscure films. So I just started compiling a list of obscure directors and, you know,
Now, how
actors
old?
in their first.
How old were you when you did this?
When I went from Nico to Andre Hando, I think I was maybe, I don't know, 23.
Okay.
Something like that.
So not as a young person.
No, I mean,
Okay.
I was always Nico. That was my childhood nickname.
Sure.
Everybody that knows me as Nico. So, yeah, that was me like really taking my art seriously.
Okay.
You know, and saying, you know, I want to make a timestamp for my pieces. And that was me wanting to, you know, put my signature as Andre Hando. But I, you know, to be completely transparent, I got it from an old Russell Crowe movie. It's called Romper Stomper. If anybody want to watch that, he's a trash character in the movie. I'm just putting you on blast. I don't idolize this dude at all. I just took his name. You
Just
know,
took the name.
and his story is actually kind of tragic in that movie. You know what I mean? But it is fitting. You know, and it's a reminder of nothing that you do goes without a repercussion. You know what I mean? No matter how far down the line, like there's always something that goes along with it. So live your life accordingly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know, when you get to the end, you get what you worked for.
Yeah, it can be a consequence, or it can be something.
100%.
You know, it can be something uplifting.
100%. And we only have one of these, so live it.
You gotta
know what I
live
mean?
it.
Live it and do. I always tell people just don't be a hindrance on others. You know what I mean? Don't be a burden to other people. Don't let your free will impose on the next man's free will. And we'll be good.
Yeah, it's funny because today this one of these guys on it was a reel, and he was talking about, you know, the writer and creator of, you know, Watch Me Whip, Watch Me Nay Nay. You know, so they came through, and he was just like, you know, did you know he was in jail? I'm like, whoa.
Killed somebody.
Yeah.
Killed his brother or something.
And so I was just like, you know, but they kind of tracked just the progress of him as being a troubled young man, and then, you know, getting all this fame and fortune. And then, you know, he was trying to still stay on the same par as, Watch Me Whip, Watch Me Nay Nay. And he couldn't handle it.
And
so it broke. And goes to your point, back to that character, you can have a good path.
Yep.
Or you can have something that's going to be detrimental. And, because of that because of that action, 30 years.
Yep. And now, I just want to put in perspective time at NCS, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you have a background like NCS where, let's take that gentleman where that unfortunate upbringing happened.
Mm-hmm.
Now put him in a situation where people love him, people support him, people encourage him to do his music, people encourage him to read about legislature and what's happening to certain people's contracts and angle yourself. What direction are you trying to go in?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe his life ends up in a different situation.
Maybe
what I
so.
mean? So
absolutely.
But that's I am an artist, but I'm a real just man at the end of the day. Like I'm a real person.
Mm-hmm.
And I just critically analyze things where some people are so gung-ho, like I have to be an artist for the art, or I have to be an artist for the money of things, right? And there has to be a balance in everything that you do.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be some bitter with the sweet.
Yeah.
Because you can't overdo it on any one of those.
Yeah. And then, what happens if you don't, get to, get all the higher accolades? Some people just do it for the love of it, right? Yeah. And so you gotta, have some kind of intrinsic value where it's just like, look, I love doing this. If I get good at it and someone picks me up, okay, that's great. Mm-hmm. But, if no one ever does, I'm still representing myself and I'm true to myself.
I need a Roth IRA.
Absolutely. So that's a good thing. Okay, so we're talking about your music, and I have a note in here about, having a creative connection with folks like David Murray and Ivan Chatman. So talk to us a little bit about, your early days in the music industry and doing songs with I think the name of the group is Plug World, right?
Yes.
So, talk about, just the beginning of the music and then working with, guys of that caliber.
It's like at the very beginning of.
Well, I mean, as early as you want to share, because you talked about, writing down your different.
Well, I mean, because I love my story. It goes back to when I was 14. So,
okay, look, we can go there.
The Christmas party we had that year, I was 14.
Okay.
My uncle Cordell Bennett, who goes to Crenshaw. I don't know if they still go to Crenshaw, but y'all know Otis, and y'all know my family.
Yeah.
But Cordell brought over the Fade to Black DVD. I don't know if y'all have seen Fade to Black, that movie. So it's Jay-Z's last concert.
Okay,
when
got
he did
you.
the Black Album. He's retiring,
yeah.
and there's a lot of hoopla around that.
Yeah.
So sitting here watching the culmination of the most popular rapper or the best rapper alive. I'm watching this culmination of his albums, this visual project of him documenting him making the final album. And at that point, I said, I want to make music as a career. I didn't know if I wanted to be an artist legitimately, or if I wanted to just be a singer or a writer or anything like that. And I expressed that to my father. And from my recollection, I'm pretty sure he always wanted to have these things in his house, but he bought studio equipment. And he would not let me touch any of it. And he gave me the manual, and he said, when you get through this, then you can start running sessions for me. So got through the manual. It took a minute, because that is a crazy manual for a 14-year-old to read. And I still think there are concepts in there that I don't fully understand. But started running sessions for him, or like cleaning up his sessions, and then, doing the live thing where I can sit there and actually work the board for them. And then eventually I was given the reins, and I went ballistic. I recreating songs. I redid Apollonia 6. I redid the Outcast. I redid Missy Elliott. I was recreating Timberland. I forced myself to just listen to country and classical music for like a year. weird stuff. You know what I mean? But it was because I was like, all right, if I want to make music, I don't want to just cut myself off at hip hop or R&B or whatever. You know, I want to be well versed. I want to do it all. So that was the early stages, and then obviously you're going through high school. Created this thing called SIC with Joseph Mosley. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Joseph Mosley.
I'm not.
But his mom Tammy is a member.
Okay.
But the whole family, they were supportive at that time of us doing this, and we had a great reception to the SIC movement, Spitting Image Crew.
Okay.
That was big in the church specifically, just because that's where we were doing all our marketing. You know, we're going to the youth conference and things like that. So that was our vehicle for getting that out, and we did, you know, birthday parties and knitting factory, things like that. Moving on from there, he went to study in college, so I started working in my own capacity. I did my first album my senior year, Journey of a Spaceman. I had my band director who's been featured at Carnegie Hall, Vincent Womack. He featured on that project. So I was starting to take it real seriously because I was getting taken seriously the more I delved into it. So that became super exciting for me. And then I just went off the deep end and I started working. I worked with the reggae band Balam High. I did a ska reggae hip hop fusion band called Moonshine Wonderland. I did a bunch of hip hop production for just as many people as I could find, really. Anybody that was interested in what I was doing. And then, you know, fast forward to today, I put together a collective with people who I met through that journey. It's called Planet Love. And it's 5 of us. We're all very talented artists. And I truly believe that, like, this is the culmination of, like, my career and my choices stylistically, musically, you know what I mean? Like, if you go and you listen to what we do now, this is the culmination of all that time that I've just fast forwarded over from that time I was 14. So, you know, that's the overall gist of, you know, how I came into doing this.
So then you've been playing around with music for quite some time.
Yeah, I've been playing around with it and, you know, like seriously seeking it out for a long time.
Got you. Now, when did this dream, and I think you mentioned it earlier, when did this dream, because you mentioned a party, right? So what year was that when you're like, hey, I want to make this a real part of my life?
I graduated 2009 from high school, then it was probably 2005,
Okay.
2004.
Okay.
Around
So
that time.
about 20 years. Okay. Now, because I know you mentioned a lot of people, is there any one person or group that you wouldn't mind working with that you have not worked with? And this could be like, you know, super professional, you know, folks up there like, you know, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
And I know you mentioned Plug World earlier, so obviously I'm gonna say that because those are my brothers for sure.
Yeah.
So I would love to do a song with Plug World just because they jam and they make great music. Well,
let's stay with them for right now, and we'll come back to the. So how did that creation, that combination come about?
As far as Plug World specifically,
Yeah.
So from my understanding, it was just them being in church together. That was the culmination of that. I've worked with Plug World in the capacity of them, I think, experimenting and realizing that they want to become Plug World. And we did a session at, I believe it was Cornell's house, if I'm not mistaken. But I just wrote a verse, you know what I mean? And it was a super quick concept. Like, I think the ride over there was longer than the actual session. But it was still a good session. We came out with some heat, you know what I mean? I feel like every time I go in there, I come out with some heat. You know, that's subjective. But please go listen to the music and let me know if it's heat or not. If not, you can leave it in the comments. I will not, you know, mind that at all. I won't take it personally, seriously. But they are very dope, especially since they play live instruments.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of feel, and I know that from working with bands and being around the culture. The technicality of playing an instrument and singing and writing and then doing all the other things, you know, that takes a lot. So big kudos to them. And yeah, I mean, obviously we're definitely going to work, but you know, all good things come in due time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But,
Okay.
as far as groups that I would love to work with, man, who's doing positive things right now? Kendrick, obviously, that would be really amazing. And then, you know, anything from the West Coast, Dom Kennedy, mentioned a bunch of them. Tyler, the Creator, is really dope. Cali Uchis. I'm trying to think of all the Cali people that I would love to work with.
Okay.
Shoot, Red Hot Chili Peppers. I think we could do something really cool.
Okay.
So, you know, everybody that's from California, from the soil, I would love to do that because that's just one part of the tapestry.
Yeah.
And then obviously moving on from there, you know, you just talk about all the other hubs. I would love to work with people who just have a grasp of the love of music, because that's really what it's about for me. Obviously, you know, I haven't done significantly well financially on the production side, on the writing side, but I've had a lot of great experiences and I've met a lot of great people. So, you know, that's one part of the puzzle, but then I know there are some people who have ascended to stardom and they don't have a great time with the creation, with their relationship with music, with the people who handle their day-to-days and things like that. So I'm very blessed in that, you know, I've had a 20-year career where nobody's ever taken advantage of me, where, you know, I've never been in a situation where I'm, you know, scared for my life or anything like that. Like, you know, I work with great people like Plug World, like Planet Love, like SIC, Balam High, you know, you name it, you know, Ashley Crow. Like, I work with a bunch of great people. I've never worked with Brandy or Ray J, you know what I mean? But that would be very dope too.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I did a beat for Willie one time. I wonder if he still got that saved. But yeah, no, I mean, you know, just anybody, man. I mean,
Right.
I'm not picky. I'm all about just creating and getting to it, really.
Got you.
know?
So for you, it's not about, so you're mostly a producer more so than a performer. That's the feel I'm kind of getting.
I'm an expresser.
Okay.
I'm an expresser.
Okay.
If you have a session and I feel like something dope is being done and y'all are like, we need an engineer, I will be the sound engineer for that. I'll do the pre-production, I'll do the post-production. I don't care which one it is. I'm good with that, right? I'll sit in a room with 50 people, I'll sit in a room by myself. You know, I love doing this, man. Like I really, and there's a passage in the Bible about your talents, right? I don't feel like I got a lot of talents. You know, I feel like I received the talent to have an ear for music and to reproduce that. And I also feel like I got the talent to relate to people, you know, and I have those two, and I'm trying to make that work. But,
Got you.
I'm not going to hide that, you know what I mean? And anytime I have an opportunity, that's why I appreciate y'all for asking me here today, because I've done 2-3 podcasts in my life, you know, in my career. And, you know, people say I'm okay at what I do, you know, so it should be more. But even though it's not, I'm going to take this space and I'm going to appreciate this space and I'm going to use it like I'm on The Breakfast Club or, you know, whatever it is, you know?
Absolutely.
But, you know, I appreciate this space because I may never get this opportunity again.
Absolutely. No, man, listen, you know, I'm a budding podcaster, kind of, sort of. I mean, again, I'm not trying to do Breakfast Club kind of stuff, but in terms of the people that I know who have a story, I would love for them to sit, you know, right now we're doing NCS, the Best in the West, right? I have my own little thing that I do, you know, called the West Side Show, right? I produce stuff for my family just so folks can have an opportunity to tell their story, because a lot of us have stories, and so it would be so great to not just hold those stories in, but let the people know, you know. So if it hits 10 alumni, 5 alumni, it doesn't matter. You know, it matters where you can share light on yourself and your journey, Because again, somebody else might be going through the same thing. And how great would it be if you can uplift them and, cause them to be like, hey, this is cool, or, maybe I should keep at it. Right. Now, I do want to stop right here, and I want to say I was able to get my comments to pop up.
Yeah.
So
come on, chat.
So I hit the air horn. I don't know if y'all can hear that. I hit the air. I'm gonna hit it again. Yeah, there you go. I hit it. So we got some comments. So let me see. I think Lisa said. Lisa DeVore said, Willie Norwood was my vocal coach till Pops ran out of cash.
Mm-hmm. Willie about that chili. Don't ever get him mistaken. I'm sorry, Mr. Norwood. I'm not speaking.
Oh, man, that is so funny. Willie's about that chili.
Willie about that chili.
That's a shirtable right there. If I was into making man, that's funny right there.
10%. That's all right.
Hey, no. It's all you, man, But no, so I just wanted to say that. And then I also wanted to say shout out to my good friend over in Alabama who's watching on my YouTube channel, Dr. Dwayne.
Roll Tide.
Dr. Dwayne Wood, MD. If you want to know, if you have.
Whoop my butt for saying that. You don't say fight on and move on.
I know, right? Yeah, fight on. Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, if you want to know, if you're struggling with diabetes, he's the man. He has a channel over there. So thank you, Dr. Wood, for popping in a little bit and showing us some love. Lisa also says, let me see if I can pop it in here real quick. There you go. He was only charging $10 a week. That's crazy. I'm sure he's not charging that now, right?
Nah.
That's funny.
$10 a second.
I know, right? Woo! I was going
4 hour minimum.
I was going to say something, but I'm not. I'm going to move on. I'll tell you after the show. I'll share it after the show. Okay. So we got a couple more questions before we close up, Dominique. So your voice is your main instrument, but you've also dabbled with keys and the bass.
You're not going to ask me to play nothing, are you?
No.
Right.
No.
I'm just making sure.
Where does your musical inspiration come from? And part B, how did NCS or church influence that path?
Addison Dovey, Derek Lee.
Okay.
And then obviously the adult chorus is Southside.
Okay.
So that's the earliest influence.
So I know what you're talking about in terms of Addison and Derek, but and in terms of, the bass and the keys. But for, those who might be watching the videos a little bit later, they might not know who Addison and Derek are. So just kind of enlighten the audience and kind of make them aware of what you mean by Addison and Derek.
Well, Derek Lee is my father, obviously, and then Addison is my godfather. They were the directors of the Southside chorus. And from songwriting, arranging, harmonies, tempo, rehearsing over and over until you get it right, showing up to all the events, and then performing like you practice. All of those things I saw very early, like right out of the womb. So obviously the tones and the melodies were more influential than anything else because I couldn't understand words at the time, but you understand where people are looking. You understand who is standing and who is sitting. You understand when people move their hand and, the noises coming out of people's mouths is following that. It was substantial, you know what I mean? So that is the early upbringing. And then, obviously as a child, you're growing up and maturing and evolving. And, popular music comes in and it's so funny to say. Not funny because he is funny, but it's a weird, like, how would you end up doing hip hop? But Music Soul Child, man. I used to listen to Music Soul Child music and just veg out and go to. I was probably going to Philly, which was probably not the best place to go in your head, but Philly looked like the Wizard of Oz in my head. So or maybe it just looked like Oz, I guess. Um, but that was the sound palette where I was like, oh, this is interesting. That was my first time picking up one of my dad's old keyboards, downloading his music production programs to my computer and tooling around and thinking, oh, maybe I'll make some beats or, whatever. But then that led to Jill Scott, Erykah Badu. Obviously, Saturday mornings when it's a mandatory cleanup, Frankie Beverly Mays, you know what I mean? Parliament, Anita Baker, all that stuff is playing. But the things that I chose, music, Erykah, Jill Scott, The Roots, Prince. Prince was a big one because I don't know if you guys knew Chris Wilson, Anthony Wilson, and Sherry Wilson, but that was one of my closest friends around that time. Mm-hmm. And I remember when they left town, they moved to. Did they move to Montana right away? I think they did. But and I don't know if I ever told him this. He left behind a Purple Rain cassette, and we still had cassette players back then. Mm-hmm. And it sat for the longest because I was always just like, oh, I'm gonna give it back to him, right? And then stupid kid, you realize like, oh, he's not moving back, like they moved away, And then I started listening to the tape, and I was like, yo, I had always seen the CDs. My dad had the CDs, but I just never listened to it. I'm like, the flower side paneling. He's wearing the purple leather on a motorcycle with the. I'm like, what is this, man? What is this?
Man, that's a bad man.
Don't play
Timeless.
with him. Don't play with him.
Timeless.
But yeah, those are some of the early influences where I was like, I think I like this stuff.
Yeah.
I think I want to fool around with this.
Yeah, and also part of it that I don't know if you left out intentionally, but Addison and Lisa, she's still watching. She did put up a comment related to them. Basically, there was this group out here in Los Angeles amongst our fellowship called Agape. Yeah. And so Addison,
I just knew them though. I wasn't like paying attention to.
I know.
Oh, it's Agape. I'm like
But so they would sing a cappella, and so when I mentioned bass, my mind automatically went to them singing the low notes in some of their songs. They were freaks. Right? And so Addison, and I'll go ahead and put, Lisa's comment back. Addison's bass voice was just butter. Just
his talking voice, man. Run up on Addison today and have him just say anything. You sound like you should be narrating for National Geographic or something.
This is true. His voice was smooth. You talk about you talked about Mays and Frankie Beverly. And I'm thinking about the song that they wrote for Marvin Gaye. I can't. The lyrics are right on my tip of my tongue. But they had a song dedicated to Marvin Gaye, and so there you go, Silky Soul.
Silky
yes.
Soul, Cinderella.
Yeah. So Addison, in terms of bass, man, just super, super dope, super, super nice, super, super low.
Yeah.
Both talking, his regular speaking voice, and his singing voice as well. So, and then Lisa, who's still watching. Thank you, Lisa, for hanging out with us. She said
Lisa.
They were the best. Okay, they were absolutely
the Bomb Squad. They don't want to talk about the Hoop League though. They don't want to talk about the Hoop League.
Man, we not talking about that, bro. That's because that's more.
Oh, sorry. See, they didn't know I was gonna come up here and start banging and representing.
That was a team effort. Right now, we're focused on you, sir. Okay.
I was a part.
Yes, we know. Okay, so here we go. We got two more questions. Okay, going back to NCS, who do you still keep in contact with from your NCS days? Are there any friendships that have lasted over the years?
Yeah, I mean, obviously everybody has families and things like that, but when I see everybody, it's still the same reaction and the same feeling. Kirkland White, we are actually working on some music right now. I don't know if I'm supposed to be talking about that, Kirk. My bad. I'm sorry.
Just say someone you know.
someone I know, Schmirk Schmike. No, but I've talked to Kirkland more recently. Imani, I talked to. I've been recently told to get in contact with Ashley McCurchin because supposedly she's practicing law right now, and I could really, pick her brain about some things. So, Ashley, if you ever get a wind of this, hit your boy up. But who else was in my class? I'm trying to think. I think that might be it that I have talked to most recently. But everybody, Jonathan Briscoe, man, if you see it. So I don't know if y'all know about the Briscoe brothers, but saxophone players, man. Like, super cold.
Enlighten us.
Cold.
We got a couple of minutes. Enlighten us.
Yep, David Briscoe, Jonathan Briscoe. I believe their dad had them playing sax like early, so that was another influence to me because I didn't want to play sax, but I thought it was very dope how they just prepared for this thing and they would go and play gigs and make money. And I'm like, what, you can do that? What?
It's like, what?
I thought you have to work on AutoCAD
Right.
like my dad did.
Like, what? You can play, you can make some money playing the instrument?
But but shout out to everybody, man. I was actually looking at the photo, and I think there were only 3 kids that I couldn't name by name specifically. But Kevin, Deborah, Ashley Haywood, Togane, all of y'all, man. Shout out to you guys, man. Wherever you at, I hope you have love and peace of mind, man. And y'all reach out if you do see this.
Absolutely,
love to hear from you guys for sure.
Absolutely. So the good thing about this particular podcast is what Darren, what we'll do is we'll chop it up and make different clips, and so maybe that clip will be. Will be edited, and that way we can post it on our social media platforms and all that kind of good stuff. Going back to the conversation with Addison, Erwin Woodard, who's watching, who's from the In Crowd, he said Addison was one of the dopest song leaders back in the day. And then he says, "Oh, In Crowd forever, LOL."
Now imagine that dude and him and my dad just at the domino table just cutting up with their favorite music on. Imagine the stuff that I was hearing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like,
and that's influential.
There's no way to not be inspired listening to that stuff, man.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So looking back at NCS and just, reminiscing, going back down, traveling, what advice would you give current NCS students or your younger self, especially when it comes to faith, creativity, and staying grounded?
Oh, man. I have to say one thing about all those things?
Well, you can choose. You don't have to. What would you say to your younger self? Because right now, NCS is not in the full commission like it was when we attended. So I know they have a preschool. But let's just talk about your younger self. What would you say to your younger self, or what advice would you give to your younger self as it relates to faith, creativity, and just staying grounded?
I would say there's nothing wrong with what you're doing, but be more intentional. Be more intentional. Do more things with a purpose. Don't be afraid of being intense for people, because those are the people who do great things. Those are the people who do great things. So, I've definitely done my share of, I want to fit in. You know what I mean? So I'll amend myself a little bit, or I'll tailor off a little bit right here, and then people come over to the house and they're like, "You are a goofball." And it's like, yeah, you got me, But, be not have a spirit of pride. I won't say that, but don't hide your talents, man. Don't bury your talents.
That's a good thing.
Let it flourish,
That's a good thing. I mean, because, you referenced the Breakfast Club and, being very successful and work with some of the top artists, and I think that's what it's all about, being intrinsic, doing what you love, and, not necessarily worried about all the extras that come with it, because, we ain't the Breakfast Club, but we can have people share their story.
Yeah, I was just having this conversation with my grandmother. I wouldn't use the verbiage of worry about it, right? It's just you prepare for things.
Yeah.
You have direction about yourself and you prepare for things. And if you aim for the stars, you end on the moon. I know that's super cliche to say, but that's how it works. Nothing is 100% perfect 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes you fall short of things, but the joy is the preparation. The joy is the getting up, the going, the performing,
the reps.
The reps, man.
Yeah.
Like fall in love with it.
Yeah.
And let that be the deciding factor.
Yeah.
No.
That's so true, man. Fall in love with what you do, being intentional.
Seriously.
And I think, based on what you shared today, you've used that as a motto throughout your life.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Being intentional and loving what you do.
Absolutely.
So with that, man, Mr. Dominique, now, one thing that I did not prep for, but where can people find you on the socials if they want to listen to some of your creativity? I think Darren did send me a link for a YouTube channel. Let me see if I can pull it up and post it. But go ahead and share where people can find you.
So on all streaming platforms, if you type in the name Andre, Andre, Hando, Hando, I guarantee you I'm the only dude named Andre Hando on there. I'm the only thing that's going to pop up. And if you Google me, the Andre Hando, spelled exactly the same way, I am the only thing that's going to come up. I guarantee it. I chose my name intentionally for that reason.
Okay, hold on. So let me see. I probably can pull it up. Yeah, Andre Hando.
That's all. I'm the only Hando out there, y'all.
The only one.
I've looked.
The one and only.
I've looked. And everything that wasn't that kind of quality, I stepped on it. I promise you I did. I'm so sorry.
Okay, let me see. Let me see if we can put it up on the screen real quick. No, that's not it. How did that get over here? That's not who you are. Hold on, man. All right, so give us some, as I'm trying to give you some love socially, man. Bless us with some closing comments as we close up the show.
Closing comments. Do not rack up a bunch of debt. I'm starting going into all the advice for my younger self. Finish school. Just go all the way through. It ain't fun to restart this stuff.
Okay.
But no, seriously, man. Look for the things that fulfill you. You know what I mean? Like, obviously not the things that are going to impede on the next person, but look for those things that bring you joy. My wife is here with me. She's worked in nursing for a long time. She's worked with people who are on the tail ends of their life. And, I hope that's not offensive for me to say. But the one thing that those people say, if they haven't done so, is, I wish I would have done that, right? Don't be that person who wishes that they would have done something. Learn that language. Is it hard to do? Yes, but you can do it. If they learned how to do it from a baby to however long it took them, you can do it. Treat yourself as a baby. Give yourself some grace. It's another closing comment. Give yourself some grace. I'm about to say all of this stuff that I've been wanting to get off. Give yourself some grace, y'all. We didn't ask to be here. That's just the way it is, right? This is the world we were inherited to, okay? It's the only one we got. It's the only body you got. It's the only life you have. Take care of it. Do the things that fulfill you. Treat each other nicely, because we all going through something. And that's all I got for y'all. Stream my music, please, because this is the kind of message that I put into my very good beats. I'll put it like that.
Absolutely.
So if you like what I'm saying today, check me out.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all.
So you can't see it, but I do have your YouTube channel pulled up, Andre Hando.
Shout out YouTube.
It's on YouTube right there. And so what I can also do, let me see. I'm kind of good at this thing, just a little bit. I'm trying to get these reps in, Dr. Wood, if you're still watching. I'm going to go ahead and drop a link in the comments right there. And, so Go ahead.
Clean versions are available. There is a clean version of my new project available.
Okay, that's
Disclaimer.
there you go. That's important. So I did drop it, and maybe I'll drop it on post our podcast. I could drop it in the NCS, or maybe Darren can. Darren, can you?
Appreciate that.
Darren, can you pull that up or no? He's gonna try, but no, go check him out. We dropped it at least on our YouTube page, and you know what? Hold on, Darren. You don't have to do it. No, because guess what I can do over here too. Bam! There you go.
Figured it out, y'all.
Man, listen. Trying to get good at this thing here. Okay, so we dropped it. Now, this might be one of your friends.
Who that?
Kev J Airsoft.
That's my cousin. What up, Kev? Oh, I knew Kev was going to tune in. What up, why? Get on the game.
He said best in the West for sure. And then he also says, yes. And he's watching on YouTube.
My brother.
Yeah, so thank you for being here, sir. And, you can always go back and rewind if you want to look back at this.
Rewind.
If you want to look back at this podcast. Hey, Dominique, man, we appreciate you hanging out with us. You and your lovely wife over here, man. I know it's been a long day. And guess what? My battery didn't die on this, so we're making good time,
Can't
man.
die on the best in the West. For sure.
Hey, do me a favor. I'm going to close up the show. I'm going to put you over in the green room, so just hang out, chill out until I close up the show, and then we'll talk after we close it down.
Copy.
Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all.
Hey, guys, so we've had a wonderful show tonight, and just appreciate Andre Hando for hopping in and joining us tonight on the NCS Best in the West podcast. I am your host, and if you're not watching this on YouTube, you're probably watching it on my channel. We'll send it over to the NCS YouTube channel, and we'll leave this over here on my YouTube channel as well. So we just appreciate everyone for stopping through and being a part of the conversation tonight. And as we close up, you can find us on these social media platforms. You have us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. So we have someone who runs those other platforms. I'm really trying to just build up and build out that YouTube channel. But we appreciate you guys hopping in tonight, being a part of the conversation with Andre Hando, class of 2004. NCS Best in the West podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Riley. Thank you for watching. Coming to you live from the West Coast, the best coast, the West Side. Thank you, and we will catch you next month with another NCS alumni. Thank you for watching. Peace.